Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Kopran Limited Q2 and H1FY25 conference call hosted by B&K Securities. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then zero on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Rishikesh from B&K. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of B&K Securities, I welcome you all to Q2FY25 earnings conference call of Kopran Limited. Hope everyone is in good health and doing well. On behalf of Kopran today, we have with us Mr. Surendra Somani, Executive Vice Chairman, Mr. Sanjay Doshi, Group Advisor. I now hand over the call to the management for the opening remarks, post which will open the session for Q&A. Over to you, sir.
A very good afternoon to all our investor friends. You are already aware of our Q2 results, which have been published. Regarding our business units, which are the active pharmaceutical ingredients and the formulations, let me give you a brief overview. API business had a turnover of rupees 78.03 crores in Q2 as compared to rupees 82 crores in the corresponding quarter. Our performance was impacted by the pressure on the prices of API, particularly the PNMs, primarily due to Chinese competition. Further, the nitroxylin business had a temporary setback, which has now been resolved. Our focus on new product continue, and I am happy to inform you that we have commenced trial production of some products at our Panoli plant. We expect to start commercial production within the next 3 to 4 months. These products include ticagrelor, apexaban, rivaroxaban, and some new products like lacosamide, and we are targeting to complete another new product, riociguat, in Q3. Panoli will be focused mainly on the newer products. We have also developed the process and are manufacturing adoxaban, one of the latest blood thinners, and its intermediates. Our overall outlook for the API business in future continues to be positive. Formulations. The turnover of the formulations business for the second quarter was rupees 73.52 crores as compared to the corresponding quarter, which was rupees 69.7 crores. There was a minor growth in the turnover and the profitability. The future quarters also look positive with more growth. As mentioned in the previous investor calls, the vision and focus of the company continues to be for complete integration forward and backward and focus on global markets so that we are competitive and continue to improve margins. I thank all the investors for showing their faith in Kopran. I now hand over for question and answers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone phone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Again, participants, please press star and one to ask a question. The first question comes from Gautam Rajesh, individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hi, good evening, sir. Sir, I had two questions. My first question was, how much of the export revenue is branded generic supplies versus your generic supplies? Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, no, I thought you had two questions. I was waiting.
Okay. My second question was, what are your top 5 products, and can you list them out with the percentage of revenue that they contribute?
Well, branded generics are about, because that's only for the formulations, they constitute about 25% or so of the formulations exports. In the formulations, and you can also have a look at it in our investor presentation, which is in the stock exchange website. In the formulations, our major products are amoxicillin and amoxicillin with clavulanic acid. And in the API business, the penems contribute to the significant part of the turnover, which includes meropenem, ferropenem, ertapenem, toripenem, and biapenem.
Yes, sir. And if I got the number right, you're saying branded generics are 25%?
Yeah, between 20 to 25%.
23 to 25. And your top 5 products, I think in a earlier call you were saying metropenem and atenolol. Is that still remaining? What percentage would they contribute? Roughly?
In formulations or API?
Both, sir.
Meropenem, we do not really do a lot of formulations as of now. As I have mentioned in the previous investor call, we are putting up the vial filling line, which will take about 1.5 years, post which we'll have to do the registration of the product. Ethanol formulations also constitute a nominal less than 1% of our formulation export. In the APIs, meropenem, of course, is the largest, followed by some other penems, and then it is atenolol. That's the rough breakup.
Yes, sir. Can you give like a rough breakup in terms of percentage? How much percentage of your revenues would be contributed by these products?
Cephalosporin penems would be about 40%.
Meropenem or general penem?
Ferropenem, and all put together.
Yeah.
And 10% would be ethanol.
Ethanol, how much? 10%.
Yeah.
Okay. What would be next, sir?
I mean, there are different categories. I mean, category-wise, we have given the breakup of therapy-wise. Yeah.
Understood. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question comes from Nirali Shah from Ashika Stock Broking. Please go ahead.
Hi, thank you for the opportunity. So I had a couple of questions. The first one is on Panoli plant. Just a second. What is the status of exhibit validation batches at the Panoli plant, and how can we look at it from FY26 perspective and onwards?
We are, as of now, doing the trial batches, based on which we will gather data, and within the next 3 to 4 months, we'll start the validation batches, which are required mainly for the international market, because we intend to get the CEP and the US GMF approved. And proper commercial production, I think, mainly in FY25-26, I cannot comment on a value, but it should be around 150 to 200 crores.
So roughly, it will contribute around 150 to 200 crores once the facility is fully operational, which will be probably in FY26. Will FY26 will be the full year of operation?
Next year we'll start commercial production, but the entire value won't be coming in the year one.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be gradual. So, I mean, over a period of 3 years, 200 to 250 crores is what we are looking at achieving from Panoli plant.
And that will be at what level of capacity utilization?
I mean, it all depends on product to product. So, utilization, I mean, 3 years down the API plants are fully utilized as such in general. And utilization will slowly grow up in next 2 to 3 years. And 3 years we expect it to be fully utilized.
Understood. So roughly we can take at least 90% utilization.
Yeah, in year 3, yeah.
On a conservative side.
Yeah.
Okay. The second one, you mentioned about pen and vial facility. So I just lost you there. You mentioned 1 to 1.5 year on that. So any clarity over there? I lost you when you were mentioning about it to the previous participant.
So the pen and vial facility is a sterile facility. We may take 1 year to do the hardware, but between 6 to 8 months it requires for sterile validation, the environmental validation, because this is the product which is of life-saving, used in hospitals. And then we need to get regulatory approvals. So ideal target would be 2 years, but it could slip by a few months here and there. So these are all life-saving used in hospitals. So we need to see that all regulatory approvals are in place. The facility will be subjected to approval from the EU.
Understood. This last one is on the guidance. So we have achieved almost 290 to 300 crores on the top line in the first half of this year. And just wanted to know what would be the key opportunities or growth levers that we are looking at that will drive the momentum that will be needed to achieve almost, say, nearly 18 to 20% growth, which would be around 725 crores for FY25, the whole year.
You see, as far as volumes are concerned, growth is much better than what the top line numbers suggest. That is primarily, if you look at last 6 months, Penam's prices have gone down by about 25%.
Mm-hmm.
So some pressure is there on some APIs. In spite of that, if you see, we've achieved some marginal growth here, and we are looking at better growth in H2.
We expect H2 to be much stronger than H1.
Yeah.
Even on the margin front, even on the EBITDA target, we were expecting 100 crores.
Absolutely. I don't think we'll be able to achieve 100 crores, but let's say rough ballpark is about 80 crores EBITDA level.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we take the next question, a reminder to all the participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question comes from Julie Mehta from Batliwala and Karani Securities. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thank you for taking my question. So, sir, my first question pertains to penicillin prices. So, as per my understanding, I believe that the prices are coming down when we track it over the last few months. So, are we seeing any relief on that front really? And like in continuation to that, how much is our China dependency, and what is the plan to reduce our dependency on the same?
Ma'am, penicillin as of now, 99% of the production of the world is in China. So the whole world depends on China. Aurobindo has just started trials of its penicillin production, and they expect to come into commercial production by mid of next year or early next year, let us say by March or April. Once they start production, there will be an easier availability. Then we have to assess the price situation. It's a little early right now to speculate and say that yes, prices are going to fall.
Just to mention, penicillin is a raw material for us, so softer prices works better.
Okay. Okay, so my next question, sir, pertains to the API product portfolio. Right now, how many products are in pipeline, and what is the kind of opportunity that we're exactly looking at? If you can throw some light on the same.
Basically, we have more than 12 or 14 products already being manufactured commercially. Apart from that, we have more than 10 products under R&D. And in the next 2 years, we plan to commercialize 10 products. Our main focus is on cardiac, diabetes, and CNS, apart from the newer pedams like tebipenem, so few antibiotics. So, and R&D, as I have mentioned in the previous call also, we have expanded at Panoli. So we have more scientists working now.
Okay. So, sir, what is the revenue contribution, like how much of our revenue will be towards R&D? Do we have any number in place for that?
We don't have a separate numbers for R&D spend as a percentage of revenue, but we are spending whatever is required to achieve our goals.
Okay. And so my last question for now would be, like the markets of Latin America and Middle East are markets that are still, there's a lot of space to grow. So are we at Kopran planning to enter any new markets within these larger markets? And what would our strategy be in terms of the growth for these geographies, if any, like if we have any idea?
We are already present in Latin America, but in a very small way. Many new product registrations are still pending. As I mentioned earlier, product registrations take between 1.5 to 3 years. So we expect many registrations of LATAM to come through next year. Regarding the Middle East, the GCC is the biggest market where registration normally takes 3 years, apart from plant audits. We are already working in Oman and in Yemen, and we are planning to put in dossiers next year in the UAE also. Again, the commercials you will see only after 3 years. Our strategy will be to be in every country, either through API or through formulations, depending on the market situation. We are not going to spare any continent or country.
Okay. So which are the key markets in Latin America that we are looking at? If you can give me some idea on this.
Let me not give a long list of names. From API point of view, Brazil and Mexico. From formulations viewpoint, Chile will be the biggest for us. Then of course there is Uruguay, there is Colombia, there are many, but these would be the key markets.
Okay. Okay, sir, I'll get back into the queue. Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants, if you wish to register for a question, please press star and 1. The next question comes from Arvind Rai, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yes.
So we have seen the total expenses going up in this quarter compared to last quarters. Have we debited the Panoli plant expenses?
No.
It is without Panoli plant expenses?
Yeah, it's because of CPHI and incentives, etc. Because of that, it is higher.
And sir, earlier you had guided for the EBITDA of 100 crores in FY25.
I couldn't get you.
So you had guided for an EBITDA of 100 crore in FY25.
Right.
Are you sticking to that guidance?
As I mentioned earlier, I mean, more probable looks like 80 crore.
So is it because of the price fall
Yeah.
on carbonates?
Primarily because of API Penam's prices pressure. Margins are low there.
And so my second question is, sir, what is the progress on CDMO front? Have you been able to
I'm
tie
really
up
sorry
with
to
any
interrupt.
customers?
Mr. Rai, may we request to use the handset mode, please, to ask a question? You're sounding a lot muffled.
Is it okay now?
This is much better, sir. Please go ahead.
Sir, my question is regarding CDMO. Have you been able to make any progress in that?
Well, we are doing CDMO for a couple of companies in South Africa and also UK. This is a continuous process, but here the results will be again long term because you do the product, then you put on stability, then once the stability period is over, they get the registration. But yes, we are doing, because whenever we talk of R&D of the APIs, we are parallel doing the R&D for the formulations, like anti-diabetics or cardiac drugs. We are doing the development not only for Kopran's own dossier, but also on behalf of certain customers.
But sir, you indicated that some innovators are interested in CDMO business and we are hoping for it. Any progress on that line?
Not significant progress.
My second question is about the R&D facility. We see a lot of disruption taking place due to synthetic biology assisted by artificial intelligence, and we are seeing a lot of changes happening in the industry. Is it affecting us in any way? Is it good or bad for us?
The technology upgradation is a continuous process. AI is still something new. We have not yet been able to really incorporate AI into our R&D. And from whatever little I know, it is still at a very infancy stage in the pharma industry. But yes, maybe in time to come, AI will be incorporated. And whatever facilities or infrastructure required for R&D, we are equipped with the same. And we are doing the needful. Newer technologies will come in, newer methodologies will come in. We are adapting to that.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. That is all from me.
Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants, if you wish to register for a question, please press star and 1. The next question comes from Rishikesh from BNK Securities. Please go ahead.
Hey, hi. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So just quickly on your earlier comments regarding price erosion, I mean, is this a new phenomenon, like new Chinese players have entered, or is it the same players and we are seeing more lower prices and lower price erosion? That's the first question.
Well, basically, it is not very new players. It's just that the Chinese expanded their capacities and they do not want the Indian companies to really take a market share, especially in the global market. So, because the penams we are exporting to many countries, including the Middle East and Southeast Asia and Bangladesh and all this. So, they are trying to see that the Indian share does not increase. That is their basic strategy.
It is more because of internal competition within China, where they're trying to, shut down at least one company in this product line. Normally, Chinese used to compete and then cartelization was there, but now I think the competition is very severe within China and their effort to come to some understanding has failed 5 or 4 times in last 1 year.
And I mean, overall, this is last for 2-3 quarters more, or you see some recovery, I think, in the next few months? How is this going to pan out for penance specifically?
If you look at China is making losses at these prices. So it's, according to our assessment, it is more or less at bottom, but you never know with China if they further go down. But chances of further going down looks little low, and how fast it bounce back, it's anybody's guess.
And just to get a clarity, have we also lost volume? Like, is there a volume decline as well for us? Have we lost market share?
Increased.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Yeah.
Volumes have increased, but prices are low.
Okay. Okay, so then just one more, like a financial question. Can you broadly give us division-wise margins for this quarter and first half?
In this quarter, division-wise margin, if I say formulations, EBITDA margin is 3.68% and API is about 6%.
Okay, great. Just one more on a broader time frame perspective, the newer chronic therapies, the newer molecules that we are targeting, and those you said in the opening remarks. I mean, obviously all other peer set or all other competitors highlighting the same set of products, which probably will lose patent protection. We see a lot of peer set talking about the same set of products. So how do we plan? What's the strategy to win in this market? I mean, there are other peers set also targeting the same set of products, which have significant resources, more resources than probably what we have. So what's our right to win over here? How will we gain market share in these products, the newer therapies or the newer products?
So you are absolutely right. Every big product, at least 50 companies jump into the fray. Now you have to categorize. There are some companies who are only formulation players. There are some companies who are focused on domestic markets. There are some companies who are only API players. Our strategy is to make the raw material, the API, and the formulation and register it in the regulated markets. We are not focused on the domestic markets, especially as far as the formulations are concerned. So that will be our main strategy. And we hope that with the integration advantage and economies of scale, we have a slight competitive edge. Because many of the companies will not go into the regulated markets. They will not be eligible.
Sure. And just lastly from my side, I mean, do we see any impact on prices? I mean,
already the impact is there. Our material to Europe and UK are all going around the world and reaching there. So that impact is already there.
Reorder cycle is elongated from normal cycle.
I mean, then how are you managing it? How are we stressing on the supply chain?
No, we are asking the customers to give the orders in advance. But whatever time additional which is taken, that is there. We have to face that. Everybody is facing it. It's not just us. It's so many industries, not just pharma industry.
Sure. Great. If I have any, I'll get back in the queue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before we take the next question, a reminder to all the participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question comes from Shivam Shah from Smart Sync Services. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hello, sir. I just wanted to ask one question. Can you provide an update on the progress with Teva for atenolol supply? Specifically, have you received any further confirmation on vendor change approval? And is there any clarity on the timeline for scaling up of the orders?
Teva is progressing for sure. We received the first order also, but timeline-wise, they are moving a little slow. Mainly, it has happened due to the Israel war. So the timelines are a bit slow. As you might be knowing, Teva, though it's an international company, and this product which we are talking of is for the US market, but the headquarters are based in Israel. So there is a bit of a spillover of the current, the next quarter's business spilling over to the next year. Otherwise, it is online.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, you may press star and one to ask a question. The next question comes from Naveen Jadhav, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Hello, sir. My question was, will you be able to, you're saying that we'll have an EBITDA margins, EBITDA by end of the year to 80 crores. So are you confident of increasing the EBITDA in the remaining 2 quarters?
Yeah, we're quite confident that around 80 crores is what we'll be able to achieve for the whole year.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. That was my only question. Thank you.
Thank you. As there are no further questions from the participants, I now hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Well, I'd like to just thank the investors who have taken their time and the effort to ask us and understand us. Once again, thanks a lot, and we are always there for any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of Kopran Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.